Hi y'all, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and today I am here to show you how to create little felt flowers that you can use to embellish your bags and clutches. So for this project, you are going to need some embroidery floss or button craft thread. I personally like working with the embroidery threads because they come in so many fun colors. You're gonna need some of the larger embroidery needles that will fit your thread. And then I suggest the E6000 glue. You could also probably get away with hot glue. And of course, some felt. And for this project, I'm going to use 3 different colors of felt, 1 for the leaves and then 2 for the flowers. I happen to love the look of the purple and red flowers. They're so pretty. And then in my sample, you can see I used the red and the yellow and then just added a little bit of detail with the embroidery floss there. So these flowers are really fun to make and so simple. What you're going to want to do is take your main color, so the part that's going to comprise your petals, and I'm just going to cut this into approximately a 5-inch square because it'll be easier to work with. And so this will make one of these smaller flowers. And so you're just going to cut a spiral with your scissors. It does not have to be perfect by any means. And so I've made it around 3 corners now, and now I'm going to cut in just a little bit there. And you can kind of weave and bob in there and give those spiral lines a little shape to them. You want to try and maintain the same amount of thickness in each spiral if possible. Like, you don't want your petals to be too thin. And then as you come in towards the center, you want to create kind of a teardrop disc there. And that's what we're going to use to secure the flower. And so now this end here, that was initially the square, you're just going to round that off in the same way so that you get something that looks like this. And that's what I mean by the spiral. And then beginning with that outer edge, you're just going to start turning the felt in on itself, and so it starts curling up and forming that flower. And then as you near the end, take that little teardrop edge and tuck it under that outer petal and pull that up in there. And then that's when you're going to put a pin all the way through your flower just to hold everything until you glue it. And this one came together nice and compact there, and I think it is really gorgeous without that center accent in it. Each flower is going to be unique and different. I'm going to make one more that is a little larger so I can show you how to get that center accent on there. So this square here or rectangle is approximately 7 by 6, and I'm going to just start on that outer edge there and give the little waves to that first round. And then as you come into that center, make sure you leave that little teardrop center. So that's what I have so far. And your goal with the exterior is to cut off any sharp corners. So I round mine so that I have no sharp corners at the ends. And so for this one, I'm going to create that center by wrapping that around my finger. You could also wrap it around a Sharpie marker or a dowel. And then as I get to the end there, I want to tuck that little teardrop up and under that outer petal. And once you get it through that center hole, then you can usually pull it under, and then you just have to straighten out your petals. And before I let go of that, I want to put the pin in it, and this one is equally as lovely, and I will be able to fit a little center accent color in there. But before this gets away from me, I want to get that pin through all the petals. Now I want to cut out a little tiny red accent to pop in the center of that. So the center can look like that, and you just, same thing, start rolling from the outside. And then once you feel you have a large enough center, you can just go ahead and trim that. You don't have to worry about tucking anything. You just want a few rows around that. And then you're going to tuck that right in the middle of your flower. Just like that. And then now what I like to do is cut out a round circle for the base of the flower, like a little disc. It doesn't have to be perfectly round either, but it should be approximately the width of your flower. So like that, and then that's what you're going to glue the flower to, and then that will allow you to stitch around the disc to attach the flower to your project. You could also glue a pin, a brooch pin on the back of that if you want to make it removable. For mine, I stitched with the embroidery floss, and I was very happy with that look. So again, I really like working with the E6000 glue, but you do need to go ahead and let this dry overnight. So I leave the pin in place and then fill up the base of that flower with the glue. And I'm pretty generous with my glue because I figure the more petals that make contact with the glue, the more secure the flower is going to be. And then I just pop that right on the center of the disc and go ahead and press down. I'm working with a heavy duty felt so it doesn't bleed through. If you have a thinner felt, you're probably definitely going to want to wear gloves because you don't want this glue all over your skin. So for your leaves, you're just going to want a strip of felt, and this is about 2 inches wide. And then I went ahead and folded mine in half and you're just going to cut out leaf shaped pieces of felt. And I like to put 3 in each grouping, and I just have that single thread running through the needle there, and then I'm going to go down through the base of the leaf and back up, and I want to go ahead and thread all 3 leaves on in that same way, down through the base and up. And then once you get all 3 on, you can remove the needle. And you have like a leaf garland there. And as you push those together, the leaves will pleat up, and then you just tie a knot in the opposite end. And I always tie a double knot. And then now you have a cute little leaf arrangement there. And you take your flower and you can glue that right on top of the leaves. What I did for my pouch was first attach the flowers by stitching that disc that we glued to the bottom of the flowers to the project first, and then I stitched the leaves right underneath of the flowers there. So it's a lot of fun, and again, each flower is unique and different. I thought it was really a very relaxing project. And it's kind of one of those slow projects that you're going to work on over time. And so what I am doing with mine that I'm very excited about, I'm going to eventually embellish this entire pouch. And I imagine it will take months to finish. But I am slowly working on attaching this create, which I freehand cut from felt. And then I'm stitching in that life. And so I'm going to continue just putting random stitches around these letters and adding more color with the felt and the floss to create a truly one-of-a-kind project pouch there. And so I will be sure to share updates on social media. If you want to follow me at Instagram or Facebook at Sewspire, so you can see how my little Create That Life project pouch comes together. Again, I just freehand cut these letters out of felt. I used the E6000 glue to attach them to the bag, and then I'm going just real leisurely, random, completely imperfect, with different colors of embroidery and different styles of stitching around each of those. So to me, it's a fun, relaxing project that you could just work on at your leisure. I hope that you enjoyed it and are inspired to create something of your own, a one-of-a-kind piece. Please let me know if you've ever made the felt flowers before, and if you have any tips for us, feel free to post those in the comments as well. And do share pictures of your pouches on our group Facebook page. I will be back next Tuesday with another fun project for you. I want to invite all of you to join us on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be teaching on Crowdcast how to sew my Lifestyle Tote bag. This was a bag that I designed more than a year ago. It might have been 2 years ago. And I'm going to teach that project over the next 4 weeks. This is a free course for Sewspire patrons, so you can participate in these 4 lessons and the Lifestyle Tote project by signing up to be a Sewspire patron, and I will put that link down in the notes for you. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to teach another project live in September as well. And then in October, we're going to have AMC 7, which would be a first for all of us because we're going to design a bag as a group, a collaborative design from start to finish over 6 weeks. So I'm super excited about all these opportunities that are coming our way to co-design together. If you've never had the pleasure of co-designing with someone else, it is so rewarding and so inspiring. So please do keep that opportunity in mind as we transition out of summer and into fall. So as always, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful week, everyone.